will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here.
I must be the greatest.
The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I took up the road.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man,
Mate.
Yes, he is the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here today, we're bringing you back inside the locker room where we're talking about topics in and around the game. MH, you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, we wanted to switch it up and just kind of, this is an interesting topic, man. And I like how you kind of brought this, but it was, you kind of asked me a question like, man, who would you pay to go see? Right. And like, I could go in like many different directions, man, but I'm going to kind of let you kind of tell us more like what's the thought behind that. And then we'll get into it.
Yeah. I mean, we live in a current world of inflation, right? So it costs money to do stuff. And as we mentioned on previous shows, I mean, we've been blessed with friends in the business. So sometimes we don't necessarily have to pay to go to, places and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a unique thing with sports that kind of makes regular people superheroes, so to speak.
Right.
That come with sports and entertainment. So there's certain people that you would pay a price, I think, a ticket price, whatever that price may be, to get into the stadium, the arena, the field, wherever they play, wherever this person plays, to see somebody do what they do best. I think you want to see Mozart compose something. I think you want to see, you would love to see Martin Luther King and have dinner with him. There's a million questions that you say, hey, man, who would you have dinner with? Who would you pay your money to kind of see as a once in a lifetime special person? So that's kind of where I was thinking about that. And, we may have varying opinions and we may want to see somebody for different reasons.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's just a kind of an interesting thing as we kind of look at sport as a whole and how big of a business it is. Like, who are you going to spend your hard-earned money to really go see?
So do you have like one or a few like identified? Is there like a list? Because like that's so for me, because like in prep for this, I'm definitely thinking, I'm like, all right, like there's like different routes you could go with this. So I'm trying to think. I'm thinking. So is there someone or do you have something locked in for what you would want, what you would spend your hard-earned money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, let's kind of be real. I think you pay for the experience, so to speak. So I'm not going to pay a premium price for just any experience. I want to experience something on the field or on the court as well as whatever my experience is. So I broke it up in kind of two categories as I'm thinking. I don't have this written down, but this is just off top of the dome of how I'm kind of thinking of how I break it up. I broke it up into a category of like greatness, as I mentioned earlier, seeing great people do great things in their craft. I would love to do that. There's about 4 or 5 that I would say, yeah, I'm going to name those. And then my second category is like somebody I just got to see for myself, right? It may be great. It may not be that great. It may be kind of crazy, right? Like whatever it is, I feel like I got to see that for myself.
Now it's funny you say that. So I one popped to mind possibly for the crazy. So okay, so go ahead. What do you got for your greatness category?
So I'm gonna start off with this, and I'm not gonna say 1-on-1 draft choice, but the person that I would love to see in person, I've never seen in person, for being great at what she does, is Serena Williams. I mean, 23 titles, 10 runner-ups. These are Grand Slam finals. I think a bucket list thing of me, and I've already probably missed it because she's at later stages of her career, just probably seeing like Serena Williams at Wimbledon, right? Like seeing her in her element dominate.
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever that ticket price was, if I had the opportunity to sit in the little boxes near her and Richard Williams, I would pay whatever that premium price was. You might have to eat bologna sandwiches for a week if that would take. So Serena Williams would probably be number one for me of things I would like. I would have to see her in person.
That's a definite good one.
She's great. She's the best ever. Best athlete ever, in my opinion.
No, she's the GOAT. Like, you
Mhm.
know, we put all these other people in GOAT conversations or the, you know, best athlete like she is it. Like, I don't argue with you on that.
Yep. Tiger Woods is another one for me.
Mm.
Tiger Woods, and you know, again, I'm getting older, just like Tiger Woods is getting older. But you know, Tiger Woods, the Sunday of a Grand Slam, the Sunday of a Masters when he's in his red polo. Yeah, I would love to see Tiger Woods dominate and be on that court or on that course. I'm sorry, when Tiger Woods is dominant. That would be number 2. Number 3 for me, I've seen this guy in person as a kid. I would love to see him if somehow the world and you could change time and I can see him as an adult where I really understand what's going on. I would love to see Michael Jordan in person. I've seen him in person as a kid, but obviously he's like, you know, a hero. But seeing him as an adult, I think it would be kind of unique as well. I would pay money to see this man in person. Miketyson in Mike Tyson's heyday. I'm probably still scared of Mike Tyson today. I don't care how old he is. I would probably walk on the other side of the street if I saw Mike Tyson walking on the one side. He might be a cool person, but seeing Mike Tyson, I've only been to one like premier boxing fight anyway, since you know, and I've had the opportunity since I've lived here in Vegas, seeing Canelo lose on Cinco de Mayo, and everybody being very disappointed. Was
hot with that one.
Hot. Was a unique experience. But seeing Mike Tyson in his heyday, whether it would have been a 2-second title fight because he was knocking people out in the first minute, I would love to see greatness in greatness, right?
And it's funny because like that's what I was thinking, like, oh, would I want to pay to like see the 2-minute knockout? Like, I don't know. Go ahead, continue.
That would be my like top 4. Okay. The 5th one I would kind of struggle with, right? And this to me this sounds stupid. I was struggling. Like football, football is different, right? I respect greatness, but you know, when you played the game, man, it's just like I don't necessarily have to see them on the football field.
Right.
Lamar Jackson was the most impressive football player I've seen. I saw him last year. He was the most impressive football person I've seen. Didn't see Michael Vick play in person or anything like that. But I wouldn't be a football player. For my 5th dominant person do what he does great, I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh my gosh. Are you
in the Attitude Era? I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin in person. I would love to see greatness do greatness. I met Triple H recently. I don't know if I told you that. I met Triple H, and it took me back to 7th grade, right? The real fan in me like came out of nowhere. Like I kind of got nervous, right? I was like, this dude is Triple H, right? He asked me about something that I do for work, so I had to break out of the fan mode and be like a real human.
And you had to break it down for him, but
I had to be a real human. But seeing Triple H in person, I was like, damn, that's Triple H. So Stone Cold or The Rock, one of those, you know, those two like figureheads when they were being great at WrestleMania. I'm a nerd. Hell yeah, I would pay my hard-earned money to see that. I don't care what the storyline is. I would pay my money to go see them in WrestleMania.
Interesting. Those are all great. I mean, from the list perspective, it's amazing. And I think only one that I think I would co-sign and be for me
damn
would be Serena. Man, well, like I've seen Tiger play a couple times, right? So now it wasn't on Sunday, like at the Masters or at the Ryder Cup or something, of that level of prestige, but it's still I saw him in his prime and I saw him like, after. Like we always talk about when the pivot of the story changes when they come to Vegas.
The pivot, yeah.
The pivot in the documentary anytime the lead character comes to Vegas. So I've seen him. I've never seen Mike Tyson fight, but I saw him mush a nigga in Pure nightclub like the line in what's the movie Hangover. I was like, he still got it. Because see his effort and how quick. So like Mike was going through, it was after his his daughter had passed, rest in peace, and he was just kind of out at one of the nightclubs here in town, and I was there, and like we were all just kind of hanging out. And a dude, how kind of like what happened on the plane, motherfuckers just want to mess with Mike. And I don't Like, what suicide or death wish do you want in your life that you feel like fucking with Mike is the right thing to do? Anyway, so this dude just kept messing with him. He was just sitting on the back of a couch like he did at a nightclub, and his hand came out so quick and mushed this dude. And you saw the dude fly that, like, to push another human, not a punch, like he mushed him with his hand. So I've seen Mike, but the Stone Cold Steve Austin shit, that's fucking hilarious. But like, you know, you like the antics, right? Coming in, crashing the 2 beers,
and that's the bottom line. What? Yeah. I would love it.
Stone Cold. And then I mean, The Rock had that same kind of element, right? Like the best to do it in that format. But my hard-earned money would be definitely Serena at Wimbledon. It's definitely where I'm going. But anywhere else, man, it's just, we talked about this. I'm bougie now, right? Like, I've been afforded blessings to have, you know, worked in sports. And I think that's one of what people don't understand is a fringe benefit of working in sports. You know, we do have access to some like cool events and some cool things. So like to see someone or see something, I think mine would have to be like maybe going back in time and seeing something like historical, right? Like,
all right, well, give me one.
Historical. I mean, of course, any well, no, I was at, see, that's the thing. Like, I'm attempting to think like what's like somewhere I would be. I think my Stone Cold one, for lack of a better comparison, I would love to be the Palace of Auburn Hills when the fight broke out, when the Mouse in the Palace happened.
I'm with you. That's on my list of crazy.
Like,
that's on the crazy category,
right? Like, just to think, like, we've seen the story. Well, we were there, like we watched on TV, and then they just did, you know, the story. I don't know if it was a 30 for 30 or however they did it, but we saw that. I would just like to kind of be there because hopefully, you know, I would be in a suite or just somewhere.
You've been finding accommodations where you could just watch it all.
Watch it all, right? Because like the last thing I need is to catch a case, because like it depends on what EJ we're talking about, right? So like I may have been down. No, I'm not even gonna take it there.
You may be on that court.
I mean, hey,
Saw Jermaine O'Neal.
Hey, listen.
It would have been a better batter than my man.
Hey, we got. No, that's like something that would come to mind, but it's like an event that I would spend my hard-earned money. You know, I'm really pressed to see, you know, to think what that would be. You know, Jordan, yeah, you know, definitely would love to like watch, you know, have watched him in, you know, his Bulls days or whatever. Like those, I think, are the things, but I just can't like picture what it would be, you know. If I
let me give you one. Let me let you think. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna throw at you.
Okay.
Usain Bolt, one of those Olympics. Would you pay your hard-earned money to see him be him?
You know, it was funny. Like I was thinking of Olympic things because I was like, well, I want to see Jesse Owens. Like, you know,
I don't want. That's a time that, respectfully, I thank God for that I'm not my family, that I'm not in that era. So
correct. So that's what I was thinking. So like Usain Bolt, yeah, I think I would love. I think I would like that. You know, but I was thinking like that for me, it would have to be something like historical. That was like, man, what kind of? Because you know, we played the game, right? And when we played the game, there's moments that we can remember where, like, you know, you had a great play, or, you know, you won the game, or you won a chip, or whatever. Like those moments are dope. So to be around that kind of greatness, as you were talking about, I think that's what it would be. But I just can't narrow one down. That's that historically significant for me to pay money. That's where the
real money,
the bouginess comes out. You know, so maybe I'm what am I I'm damaged now, right? Like I can't. I remember the president of my company. We were talking when we were talking about like going out and going to these events, and he's like, "Yeah, if it's not in a suite or a box, you know, I really can't make it to that event." So it's kind of like that, even with going out, right? Like, you know, we get people that come to Vegas and then be like, "Oh, hey, I'm, you know, at such and such club, or I'm doing something." Like, are you just general admission, or do you got a table? Because like I'm not about to get off of this couch to.
That's true. That That is very true. But there are some things,
I'm
crazy or not, and maybe it's just events and like that. You like, yo, I would pay to be in that arena at that time. Whether I might have been, I wouldn't have paid a ticket for that, knowing what the tickets were. But
Mhm.
you know, when Kobe Bryant had his last game, I think that would have been a cool experience. Like, hey, I saw Kobe Bryant play his last game. We didn't, know that Kobe was going to tragically pass a few years later. So like,
Right.
it makes that whoever was in the building, kind of relevant. More like it makes it a more relevant experience. I was actually, again, my dad said I was there. I was 2 or 3, but 1988 Seoul Olympics. Ben Johnson beat Carl Lewis in the 100-meter, but then got his medal snatched because he was on horse steroids. And my dad was saying, like, seeing this dude eyes buck, he was like, yo, he owns something. But
It's like,
I guess
up.
to see that in real life, in real time as an adult, I would probably pay some money to kind of see that thing happen.
I think for me, it would be more hanging out with someone. Now
Okay.
that I would definitely like.
So who you hanging out with? Who are you hanging out with? Who is EJ, the mayor? Who is he hanging out with that he hasn't already hang out with that you already don't have in your phone?
Prime time during his early days.
With the wet on his head.
Hey, I'm in the Must Be the Money video. Like we, I'm in him. We hanging out with him. Like while he's in Atlanta, I'll pay to like hang out. I mean, I'd pay for like I definitely respect what he's doing now, but I just think that was just an animated fun time. Like he had fun and he played the game. Because I remember they did a story. I don't know if it was NFL Films or whatever it was, but they were just talking about him versus Rice and like Rice didn't love the game and like they said how he was not really good with his teammates and things like that. To where Prime was just talking about like no, like I worked my butt off. I was talented, but I loved the game. You know what I mean? So Prime would be someone that I would definitely, as a sports figure, want to hang out with. I think I would have enjoyed myself.
You know what? On that same vein, as I enjoy yourself, I think it would be fun at first and then annoying probably about the second time you hung out with them. But I would say Magic Johnson and Wilt Chamberlain in their day, from whatever stories they had. I mean, they probably had a lot of. This is before. Obviously, I wouldn't be married at the time, but this is before all that. Just they look like they had a lot of fun. But
hey, the form days. I mean, hey,
but about the time too with them, you like. Yo, Magic, I just want to, have a glass of wine and go home, man. I don't want to get on something tonight, man. I just want to chill, bro. He probably be that annoying dude, like, yeah, get on it. Like, nah, man, I don't want to.
Like, no, I'm cool, bro.
I'm cool. I'm just chilling, man. Yeah, him and Wilt Chamberlain, it probably been cool the first time, but it would be a one-time only experience with them.
But no, so that is something I think that I would definitely, because I think it's a whole experience. And I think, like I said, it's hard. I mean, this is a great question. This is definitely fun, but it's just hard to, think about, because even if I wasn't there with, the internet and TV and stuff, like I've relived it with 30 for 30s. Like I've been there, I've experienced it and with backstage, but back behind the scenes access, when they get to break it down. So most of those memorable events, I've had a chance to witness, right? So going back to pay for it, I just, and with my bouginess right now.
Inappropriate question.
Nah, it was a great question because it made me
inappropriate question. I'm about to ask an inappropriate
question. You're
question.
about to. Oh boy, here we go.
You know what? On better judgment, I'm not going to ask this question. I was thinking of a certain incident in the 90s with a certain brand of car that was driving down the highway. Would you have been in that area when a former running back was was on the highway, whatever highway it was in LA, driving really fast and testing out the Bronco limits?
Oh, you know what they
it's
said?
Just in the atmosphere, I guess I'd say. It was
parties.
Hey,
the way the story goes is like his party used to be lit, right? You know what I'm saying?
What it sounds like.
So I would have been a party, but I would have been in the Bronco. Like
you would have been in that Bronco, safe.
I'd have stayed away from that. What was it? Yeah. I don't think I'd have been AC. In the Bronco talking to police. Like,
yeah. I don't know what phone they were talking on, but yeah.
What phone were they talking on at that time and day, right?
Yeah, that's Saved by the Bell. That's Zach Morris' phone.
That's Zach Morris, a big brick block. But no, yeah, I don't think I would have hung out with OJ. I don't know.
Nah, that would have been your speed.
I don't know. I don't know if we would have. Nah, I don't think I would have hung out with OJ.
There's a current guy that I would like to hang out with though.
Okay.
In the NBA, and I think I would probably pay money to hang out with him just because I think he's interesting and weird at the same time. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving, I would just love to just kind of
one of our guests of the show. Really,
I would love to just kind of talk to him because he reminds me of like I think we all had this phase, and if you're listening and you haven't had that phase,
it's coming. No,
it's coming. Right. Like I feel like he's like a college student, right? Where you have like your theories and your philosophies, and you're really to prove that your philosophies and theories are so right in the world, and they may be right? You may be right, but you don't got to force them on everybody, right? Just do you. I know as you get older, you kind of like, yeah, you know, I believe that, but I'm gonna let it ride a certain way. Kyrie is gonna make you believe what he believes, like a college student. So I would love to just have a conversation with him because I think we could really be in depth about dinosaurs. I don't believe in dinosaurs. Everybody knows me. I don't think they've existed. The timelines are all off to me. I don't think
watch
they're
Jurassic
real.
Park, man.
Again, even more reason why I don't think they're real. So I think me and him can have a really good conversation on like dinosaurs and there's theories that I don't really believe happen. Again, I don't know if we really got to the moon. Why is Kanye not doing concerts on the moon at this point? I think the moon is a desert in Utah. Honestly, I think we're just some random place in Utah. We're like, yeah, this is the moon. So things like that, I think Kyrie and I could have really good conversations. So I would pay money to have dinner. Kyrie, I'll buy you a meal. Let's just have dinner over wine. Let's chill and talk about it.
So if Kyrie came up with a theory and told you that the reason dinosaurs did exist, okay, and now he may not have all the theoretics and all the science behind it, but he said they exist, and the reason they're extinct is because the Earth is flat. And they walked off.
they just was in a line and walked off.
And they walked off.
Honestly, to be 100% honest, I can see that other than these other theories that
the meteor or whatever else.
Yeah, all these other things. I'm just like, yeah, that don't make sense to me. So no, yeah, we can have a conversation on dinosaurs.
Nice. Well, other than that, man, that's as far as I guess I can go with like who I would pay my hard-earned, these high-ass gas price dollars to go see.
You said prime time. That's the guy that you would pay money to see, to hang out with.
Absolutely, 100%. And then of course I would do, and I agreed with you with the Serena at Wimbledon. That's like, it's one of those things, right? Like classical, like just dope memory. But other than that, football, like you said, we've been around it enough and a lot that like there's really nothing a great game or anything like that. Not a real big baseball head to where it's like, I want to see, I don't know. Yeah. I was really racking my brain and that's all I got for you.
I'm trying to think of an historic moment. I'm like, yeah, EJ would love to be that, but I really can't. Like, I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I did a quick wrap of my brain and I just like,
you're really good with the phone. You ever seen that Nike commercial where the dude is running? It's an Olympics.
Okay.
And it's a great commercial. I don't forgot if somebody look it up. But the guy is running, he pulls his hamstring and he's like crying. And his dad is coming out the stands and he mushing the security. They like finish the race together. And it's like a Nike commercial. Like,
okay.
I feel like EJ would somehow be on the field with them with your damn phone recording it all. Running next to them.
But the problem is like, I wouldn't pay for it though. I'd be there. I'd do it, but I ain't paying for that. Oh, shit. So that's all I got, man. That's all I got, brother. Any final thoughts, man, before we get out of here?
You're not gonna see The Rock, Undertaker? You're not paying money to see that?
No.
EJ not pay this money. EJ not spending no money.
No. I'm giving you one last chance, man. Anything else?
Muhammad Ali.
I seen the movie. Except though, you know what? But it wouldn't be for the fight though, like because I want to go to Africa. Like that's one of the things that like is a bucket list things. I want to go to Africa. So like if that was the time that I would have went to Africa, saw them, you know, that fight, you know, the Rumble in the Jungle, all of that stuff. Yeah, that historical context, go to the motherland, all of that good stuff. That's what would get me. But to go see Muhammad Ali,
You're not paying your money.
I'm not paying. Not for that old school boxing and you know.
I'm gonna come up with one. I'll put it on social or something. But
on social.
You know
Matter
what?
of fact,
That's what
yes,
our
that's the
listeners.
question.
What
Listeners.
EJ is gonna what's EJ gonna pay to see? I can't think of nothing right now because I can't think of some historical things or even current greatness. I can't really think of it right now. But there's somebody that you're gonna pay your money to see. There's some people that know you. Put it in the comments, please.
Put it in the comments.
Who's EJ gonna pay to see?
And this is definitely a live question too. So we're gonna put this on live. Say
that one.
Right,
Somebody gonna know. My man, there's some Gene's gonna know. Somebody gonna know. Well, your nephew in Dallas,
little EP,
he's gonna know. Somebody gonna know.
All right, we'll see. All right, man. Is that all for the people, man?
That's it, brother.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you guys for listening. Yeah, put that in the comments, man. If there's somebody, or just share who you would pay, because maybe you give me something that I'll read and be like, you know what, that's a good point. I'll probably spend some shekels, put some Bitcoin, put some Bitcoin on it, or figure it out. But hey, we drop new shows every Thursday, so please subscribe, follow us on all our social media platforms, and please share the YouTube or subscribe on YouTube because visual representation matters. And please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.